the crown we wear, confidence shining, love in the air, healing, restoring, together we rise. This is more.
You're listening to It's More Than About Hair podcast. I am Tamarian Myrick, certified trichologist and trichology educator.
And I am the Kenyatta Nicole, natural hair coach, certified trichologist, and author.
And this is where we restore hair, renewing confidence, and claiming back your identity. So today we're going to talk about the day I knew I had to do something different. And so I remember when, back in my 20s, I ended up learning that I had fibroids. And I can look back and understand now better that I'm a trichologist, because I remember the first time I had surgery, I lost my hair. And I was really losing my hair up to that. But when I had the surgery, because of the trauma that the surgery put your body through, I ended up experiencing a lot of shedding. And so I just had a second surgery last year, and I said to myself, now I understand what everybody goes through. It's always different seasons to how your body's changing, because, now that I'm in my 30s, now I'm dealing with more hormonal issues. But when I had that surgery again from the fibroids, again, I already knew that I was going to be losing my hair. And so what I did was, after the surgery, I just went ahead and cut it and just started fresh.
Okay.
And so Kenyatta, tell me.
So let me ask you this. Look, before we get on my story.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of women do deal with fibroids.
Okay.
I remember I used to joke about it and be like, girl, my fibroids acting up, before I even.
Right.
Just joking. And so I end up finding out that I have fibroids as well. And a lot of women are dealing with fibroids. Now, when you went into the doctor, did they tell you that that was a side of, I know you know because of trichologist.
Right.
But did they tell you like,
no,
hey, Tamarian, this is something that you're going to struggle with?
No, they did not tell me. What I've learned the first time was that, because the fibroids, your body thinks that the fibroids of a benign baby. So just like pregnancy, some women lose their hair at the beginning of the pregnancy. Some women lose their hair after the pregnancy. But I didn't know that, the doctors didn't tell me anything about I was going to be losing hair. I just remembered, because of the second time, I was like, okay, now that I'm a trichologist, now I understand, okay, it's just temporary. It can be fixed. And I know a lot of women, don't realize that it's temporary in that case because of the surgery.
Yeah.
But it can be fixed. It's just that you got to hone in on, the root cause of the fibroids, and that root cause is lack of blood flow. You need iron. You have an iron deficiency. You may need B12 to build up those red blood cells again. And so once I realized that the second time after I had the surgery, I just automatically knew that, hey, let me just cut my hair off. Let's start over, because then they'll give me a starting point for really healthy hair growth.
Yeah. And then like even taking your vitamins and stuff like that, because you're prepping your body beforehand.
Right.
So that was good. And I'm glad we're talking about this. I know for me, when I had my weight loss surgery, and that was one of the things they would always talk about. So I kind of knew. They would say like, you can lose your hair or it can become thin because we're not getting, like, we can't eat that much.
Right.
And so we're not getting the proper, the regular amount of protein that my body would normally get. So for me, I remember calling you because you was in trichology then, and I wasn't. And I was like, girl, I feel like my hair is coming out.
And I was like, girl, it's temporary. It's going to come back. You just got to take those vitamins.
Right. And so I was like, I need to come. And so I panicked. So I'm, and I understand like when our clients come to us, how they're feeling. And so I didn't experience hair loss, but I did experience like thinning. So it
Right.
wasn't like bald spots or anything like that. Now, I do have thinning on my edges. I know that's like a little hormonal, and I know it's from hairstyles that I used to do back in the day too. So now I'm still recovering from that. But that is something that, that we don't realize, like different things that we are dealing with internally can affect our hair.
Are you a stylist or beauty professional ready to take your career to the next level?
Well, the Trichology Accelerator program was built just for you. In just 9 weeks, you'll learn how to identify the root cause of hair loss, master scalp analysis, and create powerful holistic treatment plans that get your clients the results they're looking for.
You don't need to spend years trying to figure it out. I already did it for you. Now it's your turn. Become the expert. Enroll today and start transforming lives and including your own. So what can you tell those who have had that type of surgery that's watching today, that's watching now? What can you tell them to do?
So for me, I made sure I did protein drinks. I know they not all that good for you, but you got to find the right kind. I knew for me that was going to help me to get my protein that I need in. So I did a lot of my protein shakes. I made sure I took my liquid vitamins. I made sure also for us bariatric patients, they tell us to take the chewables.
Right.
So I made sure I did that. I made sure I was taking my iron supplements, my B12 supplements. I was going to the doctor and they was like, you got too much B12. So I was able to cut back. But I just made sure that I kept up with my vitamins. I did better then than what I'm doing now. So now I'm getting back on it.
Right.
But that really helped me by making sure I did those protein shakes. I did make sure my body was hydrated, so I drank water. Even if I did not do my water, I did juicing.
Okay.
To help me get hydration in my body as well. So,
okay. And I would say I would add to that we have to make sure that we having probiotics as well, because a lot of, clients like you that went through that surgery, they don't realize that the body's lacking that good and bad bacteria to make sure those nutrients absorb. Because now that you have a smaller stomach, now the body's like, okay, I need more nutrients to absorb. And so we have to understand too that we have to take those probiotics and enzymes to help that food absorb so it can break down and supply our hair with the nutrients that it needs.
And see, that's something I need to start doing because I don't take probiotics.
Yeah.
And just being here, I'm like, I'm finna be more
That's
conscious.
mandatory for us, especially when we get older. It's mandatory because our digestive tract slows down because of life, because of stress. We don't realize stress is the biggest component of a sluggish digestive system. So people think, oh, let me just go to the doctor and, let me take this medicine for, my IBS symptoms or whatever. But a lot of times it's just that the stress is causing that digestive tract to become slow. And then that's what causes the constipation and, irritability for to go into the bathroom.
And I just thought about something as you was talking. Another thing that helped me, it was exercising.
Yeah.
Because that does help, with the flow of the body. I can tell that I was going to the bathroom more often and everything. So exercising really helps. Even if just walking. My doctor told me, like, you don't have to go to the gym and act like bodybuilder. He said go 30 minutes a day and you will be good, because what a lot of us don't realize, and he said as women, too much like hard exercise can raise up your cortisone levels.
Yes.
And it can cause a negative effect than a positive.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so I would do that. And so we getting, me and you been going to the gym, we getting back into it now. And I tell my body feel way different. It feels so much better when I am going to the gym. So that helped me as well.
And for those of you who don't know what cortisol is that hormone that helps the body adapt to stress. But a lot of times that the body doesn't know what to do with the excess cortisol in the body. And so we don't realize the cortisol is the main problem of our health issues.
Wow.
And so, yes, it can raise the cortisol level. So we have to really, if we go into the gym, we have to really, get a trainer or, make sure that we're doing the right exercise for us.
Yes. It's not a one size fit all. So I created it because I was finding that there were so many women that were still struggling with their hair. They didn't understand their hair porosity. They didn't understand their hair texture. And they was going out buying product after product, looking at video after video, and they were still confused. I need to create some to help my queens to understand their natural hair. And that way, once they understand it, then they can go out and buy the products that they need, which is going to help them to save money and time. One of the things when I thought about creating my products, I thought about the women that were struggling with dry hair, dry scalp, and wanted hair growth. And so I thought about products that was going to help to add moisture in the hair. Nora is actually my mom. My mom passed away in 2010. I decided to honor my mom and honor all the hard work she have done for me. And I named my products after Nora. Not only did I name my products after Nora, people don't know this. The logo is actually my mom's signature that I got turned into a logo. So let's talk about some common wake-up calls when we know that it's time to do something different.
I think the most common is thinning. Mm-hmm. Thinning is really called miniaturization, meaning that's when that hair strand start to shrink down. And then what I mean is we may look in the mirror, we may part our hair, and then we may realize, wait a minute, my part getting wider. That's one of the signs. One of the signs is shedding, breakage, scalp issues. Again, if our digestive tract is not working properly, a lot of times we'll start seeing scalp disorders like seborrheic dermatitis or psoriasis. We may have some itching. We may start seeing redness. We may start seeing our temples start to recede back. And so those are some of those signs where we can say, okay, I need to get some help.
Yes. And don't wait. Do not wait. We deal with so many different women. Some that comes right on time.
Yes.
Some that, they wait. Like, yes. I feel like when we ignore it and think the problem is just going to go away, it's not. It's not. Get help as soon as you start experiencing those things. And then know the difference between regular shedding and at normal shedding. I always tell my clients this. When you shampoo your hair, when does your hair starts to shed after you have shampooed it? If it starts to shed like immediately after, that's letting you know that that's not normal shedding. There's something going on. That can be telogen effluvium. If it's like shedding maybe a week or two after you shampoo, that's just the indicator that it's time for you to shampoo your hair. So our hair, our scalp is always talking to us. So just, paying attention to those signs.
So Kenyatta, when did you realize products wasn't enough, especially now that you are a, trichologist?
For me, it was trying different products. Okay. On my hair and not getting the results, and then my clients as well, them trying different products, it's not working, and I'm like, it's more than about hair.
Especially those clients who bring in those products from the dermatologist as well.
Yes, because it was like we use the products and it's basically like just a Band-Aid.
Yes.
And you're still even after the shampoo and conditioner, your scalp still looking the same. And I'm like, no, it gotta be what we are putting inside of our bodies. So I started doing research and I would tell my clients, like, I never forget this. So I was working at Supercuts, and
I know you worked at Supercuts.
Yeah. So I was working there, and this guy came in, and he was like, my scalp is just really flaking up. It's really bad this week. And I was like, well, why? He was like, because I ate a lot of gluten. And I'm like everybody else that I tell this to, they like, well, what is gluten? And I'm like, well, what is that? And he like, I'm allergic to gluten. And so when I eat a lot of gluten or dairy and pastas and things like that, it shows on my scalp. And I said, wow, that's what's probably wrong with a lot of people.
Yep.
And so I researched it, and then I was able to tell, my clients like, hey, you're allergic to gluten. That's what's going on with your scalp. And so that was, a time that I really realized that it's more than what the products that we are using and what we're putting on our hair, but it's more internally. Then, going deeper when I became a trichologist and to see how everything connects.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And so, how can you tell, those clients who have been to a dermatologist, how can you explain to them why trichology matters?
Because it's a holistic.
Yes.
We do a holistic approach. Dermatology is more of, they just looking, they're not really analyzing the blood. They're not seeing what's going on internally. It's more of like a one size fit all. And I learned like that doesn't work for anybody. Like we really have to.
And I would say it works for some, but not most.
Yeah.
It
Depending
depends
on what you got going on.
Exactly.
If it's just like it's not so severe, then yes. But if it's like severe, those follicles are like, you're doing that and you're not getting the results that you are looking for, then it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so.
I think too, there are some people that are on the fence of, should I go to a trichologist versus dermatologist? And I feel like, some people have to open up their mindset, because I think we all been taught to just go to the doctor. This is the time right now where everybody's trying holistic.
Yes.
And so I feel like it's just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
On, okay, the dermatologist is more medical, but if I go over here, they're really going to hone in on my emotions, my health, my triggers. And, each time they come in for treatments, the treatment changes depending on, what's going on with the hair.
Yeah.
And so I think that matters in, teaching them that, the holistic way is really the way to go.
And they love it.
Yeah.
Like I get text messages like, oh my God, my scalp have never felt this much love. Oh my God, I did this detox. Oh, I feel so much better. I feel less bloated. And so I just love that. And even like the women that will come and they're crying.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, we get to give them hope.
Yep.
And I tell them, I say, release it. I had a lady last week and she was crying. I said, release it. It's okay. Cry.
Yes.
Because when we hold on to it and we hold it in, we're only going to keep getting that, the
Right.
negative of it. Like we're not going to reach our goals because we're holding on to that toxins and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of trichology as well, that we have to, they don't realize that we're their hair counselor.
Yeah, yeah.
We help them through different stages in their lives, because if they don't release it, they don't realize those embedded feelings, those embedded trauma can make the hair loss worse as well.
Yes. And then do you like with some of your clients, they be like, when you tell them this and you tell them like it's deeper, have you been through this? And they'll be like it's something that they probably forgot about. And then they like, oh my God.
Right, I ain't never think about that.
Yeah. So
it's all linked. We don't realize that every single thing is linked inside the body.
It is. So T, how do you encourage your clients that what they're going through right now is setting them up for a transformation?
I believe that we got to look at the other part of it, that we all here, we all have a testimony. So I tell clients is that hair loss is part of your own testimony. And sometimes God give us those testimonies to shift our purpose, and in order, shift our purpose to help somebody else, and even help ourselves become a different person, a better person. And so I can remember, like, one of my clients, after she got her results, she ended up starting her own nonprofit because she was like, everybody needs to know about my journey, about my hair loss and my weight loss. And she was a cancer survivor. And so, she went on. If hair loss did not happen, then she would never created the foundation for her cancer, her journey. And so I believe that for everybody, that hair loss is just part of our testimony to shift the way we view our lives and shift the purpose that God has for us as well.
Girl, you send chills in my body. Because you know that saying, they say everything happened to us for a reason.
Everything happens
good
for a reason.
and bad.
Yep.
And a lot of times when we're sitting in it, we don't understand.
Right.
We be like, why me?
Yes.
You mad at God, you mad at everybody else, but stories like that help us to get us to where we supposed to be, and help us to get us to our journey. So
right. And we have to understand too, the sole purpose for us being here is for us to serve one another.
Yes.
That's how people see God in us.
Yes.
And so people don't realize, hair loss is part of our journey.
Yep.
It's a part of me showing up for somebody else to, just for their journey. We don't know if they're believers, or we don't know if at that time in their lives that they need us for a certain purpose in their lives to get them to a certain point.
Yes.
So my belief is really, with all the things that I've been through, I realize those things are only for people to see God in us, to serve one another.
Yes.
So that people can see God in us, to bring people closer to Him.
Yes, I believe that too. Because I would always say, I don't think we're here for ourselves.
No.
I think we're here for other people. So we just gotta keep living and keep going through and enjoy the journey. And even if you don't enjoy it, like, get the lesson out of it.
Yes.
And it's gonna help, like you just said, help somebody else. So I would always think that.
Right.
And sometimes, you tell people stuff and they look at you like you crazy. And so then I stopped saying that. And so now, even doing what I'm doing, being a certified trichologist, it's like I'm able to speak more about that.
Right.
And even just serve the women that are coming here. And I love, like I always tell you this, I love being here because it's like the women they feel so free.
Yes.
They're not ashamed.
They're not ashamed.
Like they have different women balding and things like that. And I
this
just
is a
see
place
the
of
confidence.
connection as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
And just think of the journey, me and you, how we met. I didn't know that trichology existed until, I taught at Empire and met you.
Yeah.
And look at us now, years later. We sitting here talking about hair loss, and
it's more than about hair.
It's more than about hair. Right. And so, we got to start, even thinking back on our journeys that brought us to a certain place.
Yes.
Because that can really be helpful for somebody for their journey as well.
Yes. I want to talk about that more. Because I feel like a lot of times, and I'm saying this because I've dealt with this as well, to where you're not embracing the journey. So focused on the goal, the bigger picture, and like everything else is just small. That was me for a while. And I was like, and once I learned, like, no, everything is a part. Like you just said, like, if it wasn't for me going to hair school, if it wasn't for me getting a job, making that connection with the director that helped me to get a job at Empire
Right.
to help me to meet you.
And I was like, girl, what you doing?
Hey, I'm like, girl, I'm sitting here. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna go to somebody's salon soon, and it all was a part of our journey to get us to where we are.
Yes.
So if you are watching today, do never this my small beginning, because everything that's big was one small, and I always have to tell myself that when I start to worry and be like, this ain't enough, acting like a kid.
Yes.
Like, no, this is all going to get me to where God want me to be.
Yes.
So
that was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we get out of here, let's talk about what happens when we do something different.
So what happens when we do something different? It's simple. We get confidence. As women, our hair is
our crown.
Our crown. And so when we don't have our hair, we don't have confidence. We don't have self-love. We don't feel appreciated. And so when we do have growth, it can be a little bit of growth. When clients start seeing little sprouts, their confidence grow.
Yeah.
And so confidence, it's just simple. I feel like confidence, you start seeing yourself, seeing what you need to change in your life as well.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes little growth means that you got to change a little bit, take away a little bit, and then add something different as well. And so
to me, it's embracing the journey.
Embracing the journey.
Oh my God. Because it's a funny story. If my friend watched this, she gonna kill me. But she had the weight loss surgery as well. And I never forget, we was on the phone and she was crying. Like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Oh, I said, and I let her vent. And I said, friend, that's because you're different now. It's a different journey.
It's a different you.
It's a different you. Mm-hmm. So that's not you no more. So you have to embrace the journey you are on now. And I remember telling my client last week, and I said, look in the mirror. She said, I can't look in the mirror because I'm dealing with this hair loss. I said, I get it. I understand it, because I have been there to where we just pass by the mirror without even looking at ourselves. I said, every day I want you to say something positive to yourself, just one thing, even if you don't feel it. I said, because when you and do it for 21 days, because that's going to help you to build your confidence up. And I've learned this from experience too. The more we embrace it, we get more of what we want.
Right.
Because that's what's going to be called to us. When we are like, oh, I don't like this. I don't. One of my light worker coach, because I seek therapists too, but I do like light work healing. And so one of my coaches, I was like, oh, I hate my arms. Like, they're so flabby, this and that. She said, Kenyatta, what do your arms do for you? I said, well, they help me brush my teeth. They help me comb my hair. They help me get dressed. They help me take She said, okay, so I need you to start saying you love your arms and why you love them. And I said, you're right. So now I tell my clients that is too. So embrace the journey, because that's going to help you to reach the goal.
Yes, that's good.
In closing, I hope that you queens have learned a lot from this podcast. I hope you were able to take some notes from here and you're able to apply it to your day-to-day journey. We really appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And we will see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
It's more than a body. It's a crown we wear, confidence shining.